Hello everyone, I hope you're well. Guess what? I've been talking to myself for 20 minutes. My name's James. This is the very delayed Gameweek 13 deadline stream. And it's live. I never hit the live button. I'm so sorry, guys. Right, 40 minutes. We'll make this really quick. Oh, what a nightmare. I feel like such a prat. I'm so sorry, everyone. Right, my team's top right-hand corner. There's no debate on captaincy. That's Salah. The benching dilemma screen is below me. The player with the tick is preferred. They're in order, pages 1 to 5. You'll see my correct score predictions to the left of me. Bottom of the ticker. Next 5 fixtures form. Oh my God, and I was going at 100 mile an hour as well. I've got to repeat so many questions now. Thank you for the chat we put in the stream. I think the stream was crashed. That made me check. Otherwise, I might have gone through the full hour and not realised that I wasn't live. I'm so sorry, everyone. I'm going to have to cut the stream bang at 11 o'clock, unfortunately, as well, because I've got to get to Manchester. What a nightmare. I'm so sorry, guys. Right, let's get into it. Mohammed, I covered this once already, but I'll cover it again. I can't see your question. It's cut off for some reason on my screen, mate. But thank you as ever for being first. James Nelson says, hi James, good morning mate, and all the best for the trip up north. Would you prioritise getting Chelsea defender in, have none, or Jota to bring in a Chelsea defender would be a -4. Wild card in 16. I've already covered this once. I can't remember what I said the first bloody time. If Jota is for free rather than a Chelsea defender for a -4, I would say get Jota, but you just pushing back a rolling -4 problem for Chelsea defenders. If so, I'd probably get one. Hamish Solomon says, morning chief, will the Liverpool game be called off today? No, there's no problems. Vivek Gore, hi James, is it worth taking a hit for Jota in place of Rafinha? Already have Salah, Gallagher and Buemo. Thanks. In my opinion, no. Rafinha got 2 great home fixtures following this week. Zaris wants me to bench one of TAA, Rudiger, King, Region. I'm going to say Region. He also says smash the like button, guys. If you are new, subscribe. Let's help James. Greetings from Greece, my friend. Yes, help me. I might remember to press the go live button next time. I can only say sorry 100 times, can't I? Adash says, hey James, Son to Jota to fund Duffy to Alonso for a -4 is worth it. Already have James and Kane. Thanks and good luck, mate. Now, if you got Sonny, you got Harry Kane, you got to hold till at least after the Norwich game and trust the process. Isn't that an Arsenal thing that Arteta says? Bad company. Morning, James. Play Havertz or Semedo? Havertz, mate. Rob Pick, hi mate. He's Foden and Sarr to Son and 4.4 million worth it from -4. Realistically, Son could get 90 plus more minutes in the next 3. I've had Adam Armstrong on the bench or hold and wait for midweek. I think Armstrong could be benched this week, mate, so that's going to swing it into saying yes. Sam Holden says non-FPL. Mwamba, Blind, Ericsson, Aguero and 2 more this week have had some kind of issue. We always talk about overplaying, but will it take someone to not make it for this to be discussed and addressed? I'm going to apologise, Sam, because I covered this for about 2 minutes about 16 minutes ago. And we're going to say the fixture calendar massively needs looking at. Our players are playing too much football and we need to have more duty of care for them. It's as simple as that. Unfortunately, it probably is going to take something very, very serious to happen before people go, oh, hang on a minute. And that's always the way, unfortunately. Hamish Holmes says, Sky question, when you get an Alonso? Probably tomorrow, Hamish, but I haven't really looked at my plans. I intend to do that on my way up to Manchester this afternoon. Hasselbank's win says, hi James, what are the chances of Salah being rested today, and also what current player would you love to have a pint with? Salah being rested today, 5%. Midweek, more like 25%. I mean, it's a fair chance he could get left out at Everton, actually, which might seem daft, but there's some sense in that. We'll talk about it on Monday's podcast. Lexa Steeleman says, hi James, who scores more, Tony over the next 3 game weeks or Duffy game week 13 and Alonso 14 and 15? I don't know why Alonso's just 14 and 15, Lexus. I guess that's probably because you're not buying him this week. You're waiting, obviously, the extra week. I'm going to say Tony, mate. No, I don't think Duffy starts, but I've said that a lot, mate, and I've been wrong a lot. Essence says, good morning, James. Which 2 players would you bench out of Rudiger, White, Gallagher, Hwang and Havertz? I think Hwang's another one who could be in line for a rest this week. Therefore, I'm going to say definitely him to leave out, and I'd probably leave out Ben White. Tom Campbell says, morning, James, mate. 10 years on, what are your overriding memories of the great Gary Speed? My overriding memories, Tom, is it was much better when I explained it the first time, 10 minutes ago. I remember him as a winger for Leeds. Absolute flyer, brilliant in the air. Great crosser, good striker of a ball. Younger listeners will perhaps remember him more as a more combative midfielder for Everton, Newcastle, Bolton and others. Hugely underrated player. I remember, Tom, when the day he passed, Shay Given's reaction when he was playing for Villa at Swansea, heartbreaking. He was so well respected within the game. Notorious Nerd says, is Ronaldo still going to be the best United option under Ranić in a couple of game weeks? I'm going to say yes. Essence says, non-FPL question, have you watched Chelsea enough recently to notice the performances of Hudson-Odoi? If so, what do you make of them? Very good. Think he holds on to his shirt. We should be talking about him as an FPL asset at 5.3 million, but we're not because he doesn't score enough. That's the next step for him. Lexa says, wary of anyone getting rested in your team next game week. Let's get beyond this game week first. Alexander Barker, who is the better Sky asset for the next month, Son or Alonso? It's Alonso, mate. Notorious Nerd, how is the weather at the moment? Hope there isn't any danger of games getting called off. I don't believe so. I'm looking outside my window now. I'm in North London. You wouldn't even know it was windy at all. I've checked trains. There have been cancellations going north tonight, but the majority of trains are this morning. The majority of trains are still running, including mine as it stands at the moment. So I'm going up there. The train from Manchester to Burnley, which is a pokey little thing. It's one of the worst trains you've ever seen. That train line is running fine today as well. So that makes me think, yeah, we're good to go. We should be fine. Liverpool's a little worse because it's just right on the coast. I think the reality is it's just going to be windy and Klopp will moan about it at 5 o'clock. FPL Samurai says, love your content. Which two should I start up front? Wilson, Hwang or Tony? Going to be Wilson, Tony. Pavanaar replacements for Foden. Already have Jota. Was thinking Bowen. Come back in 16 or 18 for Bowen, I think. Not this week. Ragav says, morning James. Who should I start? Gallagher or Dyer? Both on the bench in dilemmas. That's a quite straightforward one anyway. Jay says Cornet or Silver in. Definitely Cornet for me is my preference. Kidane Keith says, morning James. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving to our listeners. I've said that twice now. Who should I start of Mbuemo, Antonio and St. Maximin? Those are the top 3 on page 1 of the benching dilemmas, my friend. The answer is Mbuemo. Matthew Ian M. Mose. Hi James. Sky question. I have 30 transfers left. Is that good? Yes. Also, where is that Neil Maupay guy? I miss him. Haha. I miss him too. I actually think Brighton should play Maupay today. Eshan says play Wilson or Emerson Royal. It's always going to be the forward, mate. Eshan also says keep or sell Gundogan. My friend, I'm going to say yeah, sell Gundogan, buy a 4.4 million midfielder. Who are you buying, mate? I can't answer that question, can I? Therefore, I have to say keep. Kieran O'Reilly says best replacement for Mbuemo. Looking at Cornet or Smith Rowe. Don't want Gallagher's have Benteke. It's going to be Cornet again. Daniel, although if it's very, very short term, Smith Rowe I anticipate could have a good day today. But Cornet, a little bit longer ahead. Daniel Thomas, hi James. Sky question, what are your thoughts on Tillman to Mbuemo on Sunday? Reasonable. And Rafinha to Alonso on Wednesday. Thanks as always, mate. Also reasonable. Obviously, you'll get the Chelsea lineup on Wednesday to know if Alonso's in that team or not before you make the move. Just have a second look at reworking that potentially, because I don't know, you probably financially can't do it. But if you can go to Kilman to Alonso tomorrow, there's probably another point where you can go to Rafinha to Mbuemo. If that works for you, just look at it the other way around, but I'm going to guess you probably can't, Daniel. Notorious Nerd, with the injury to Chilwell potentially ruining him out till the end of the season, will Chelsea go for any signings in January, or will they rely on Alonso? We've got a couple of players out on loan. Emerson, I think, is a young boy, Matson, who's doing quite well. I want to say in the Championship, but I'm not totally sure if I'm honest with you. It's probably more likely they'll try and bring one of them back on loan. They may not even do that. Hudson-Odoi could play out there. Christian Pulisic's been played out there. They could switch Azpilicueta to the left-hand side, as they did late in the game against Juventus. So my instinct is probably no. And it's probably clear for Alonso. Plus, as well, it might be determinant on the extent of the injury for Chilwell, right? So if he doesn't need surgery and is back in, say, 3 months, in, say, February, then they probably don't buy it. If he's going to be out till September or something, they might have to look at it. Downstairs says, morning legend, thank you for another amazing week of content, cheers. A forward line of Antonio, Pukki, Wilson and Mbuemo first sub. Would you start him for one of those 3? Cheers and good luck. This week, yeah, I'd slight preference on Mbuemo over Antonio. And I wouldn't have a problem with you starting him over Pukki either, personally. Wilson I'd want to play. Dan also says, smash and like everyone, thanks. Yeah, or if you're so pissed off that you waited 20 minutes, hit the thumb down button. Smash a like, helps get the Planet FPL word out there, thank you. Oh, what a nightmare, especially when I got to cut the stream early. Tom Hall says, Reggie in for Tierney. Not keen this week. I think Tierney probably comes back into the Arsenal team, personally, so not keen. And on that side note, I might have already said it, but I'm not sure, because I have said it once, but I don't know if you were with me or not. I think Reguilon gets rested against Norwich in 15. Sessegnon getting sent off against Mura in Woodweek's a bit of a disaster. Reguilon is not up to fitness levels as Emerson Royal. I can't see Reguilon playing Sunday, Thursday, Sunday, Thursday, Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday. I can't see it. And then Tuesday. There has to be a break in there for him somewhere, and it's now not going to be the Rennes game, which was probably the obvious one. So you look at the fixture in Norwich. Could be. I wouldn't even be that surprised if it's Brentford in midweek instead, possibly. Jay, you're the man who saved the stream by putting that message in the chat about has the YouTube stream crashed. Otherwise, I'd have been talking to myself for an hour, I think. Unbelievable. Ragav says, to answer Notorious Nerd's question, is Chile ruled out? There is a chance Emerson or Ian Matson will be called from loan. There you go. Right, I'm now not repeating myself. I'm quite excited. Druv Grodia says, how likely is the game to get cancelled? So don't worry about it. And based on that, would you do Jota to Havertz for a hit? Can I just say, if Liverpool-Southampton was going to get cancelled, the chances are we would know by now if it was in serious doubt. It's like a 6-hour drive from Southampton to Liverpool. It would not be fair to let Southampton fans, and there'll be Southampton fans arriving in Liverpool now, for them to have done the journey with no kind of, the game's in doubt. It's fucking wind. It's going to be fine. The only danger is if there's danger to structural problems within a stadium, right? So I give you a perfect example of this. In 2014, there were a load of midweek games postponed on a February because of high winds. I went to Newcastle that night and it was windy, but it was no problems. Manchester City was postponed because of the inside of the ground. If you've ever been to the Etihad, the stairs are pony and the wind sweeps through, so it's dangerous for people to go upstairs if it's windy in there. That's why that game was postponed. There's not going to be a problem like that at Anfield. We're over. We're done. Matthew says, morning James, hope you're well. Would you play Mbeumo over Antonio? It's on the bench in dilemmas. I have Tony and starting him, or would you ship out Antonio for him and start him over Mbeumo? Thanks. To be honest, I do not mind a very brief go to Antonio to Jimenez, but then if you look ahead to game week 15, Antonio's got Chelsea and Jimenez has got Liverpool. Then what do you do? There probably lies your answer, mate. Druv also said, sorry, I didn't answer his other question. Based on that, would you do Jota to Havertz for a hit? No. Oh, God. FPL telling Josh, morning James, thanks for the advice from yesterday's stream. Wildcard set, good luck with the game week, and to you, my friend. Alex Laser, morning pal, would you go TAA and Livramento to James and Cancelo using 2 free transfers? You're not selling Trent, mate. Carl Winfield, hi James, I'm debating bringing Alonso in for Duffy and starting him. However, if I make this move, I'll have to bench one of them, Mbeumo or Hwang. If I don't, I'll be burning FT. Yeah, get him in and bench Hwang. Quite straightforward for me. Alexander Barker, has anyone's stream started yet? No, sorry guys. Downstairs just got a loading stream. Sorry gang, I'm so sorry. Mark Lynch, evening James, no question. Evening, I hope it is a good evening where you are. No question, thanks for the content. As always, everyone hit the like button, appreciated. Downstairs, no, hasn't started yet. I wonder if the weather's affected power or telecom lines. That's what I should have said. I should have used it as an excuse. Sorry guys, Gale Force winds outside. TJ Power says, hey everyone, like the stream, and if you'd like to support James and Suge more, the patrons a fantastic thing. Cheers TJ, thanks so much mate. Big giveaway in December. All basic tier patrons get all the podcasts. All intermediate tier podcasts get patrons get all the advanced tier video content. There's extra for the advanced tiers as well. You can basically get 22 extra podcasts in December for the price of 13p a podcast, if that's what you want to do. And you're not stuck to a commitment. If you want to fuck off at the end of December, you can fuck off, but we'll still appreciate the support. Cheers, TJ. Mark Lynch, does anyone know if there are any games like to be cancelled? I'm Australia, so no idea. Yeah, you're good, mate. I cannot see a problem. Mark Lynch says, no, start Salah, just have a good vice captain. It is sensible, by the way, like if you're sitting there with Mane vice or Jota vice, it is sensible to move the vice captaincy to another player. Let's be honest, even if Salah was rested today, he'd still come on as a sub, right? But on the 1% chance that the roof caves in at Anfield and the game gets postponed, you're probably best off having a different vice captain. Izat says, hi James, should I transfer out Mbeumo for Gallagher? You're not selling Brentford players ahead of Everton, mate. That's a complete non-negotiable for me. Alexander Barker's saying, I'm about 30 miles from Liverpool. It's windy but not crazy. Even got some blue skies. Exactly. Meninda says Foden or Mount to Jota worth a -4. thing is, right, you could say yes, and I think probably with Jota having a break in midweek, there's a strong chance he plays all 3 games this coming week. And we haven't got an update on Firmino in terms of when he's back. So it's short-termism, probably. I can see Firmino coming back for Villa 16 or Newcastle 17, probably. But we haven't got the information. Foden, presumably you weren't expecting to play all 3 games this week anyway. Now, if he misses out tomorrow, I guess there's a chance it's only 1 of 3. In which case, I've got to say, yeah, I'd probably do it. I would be happy having Jota in the squad than Foden. This is always the problem with Man City players, unfortunately. Great if it comes off, but this becomes a recurring weekly headache. Downstairs is responding to Martin saying, the weather is quite bad, particularly near the coast and in the northwest, which would include Liverpool, but I'd be very surprised if any games don't go ahead. Yes, look, obviously the weather's not great. It's bloody windy. What would I want to do with my weekend other than go and watch a windy football match in Burnley? Hey. James Clark, has the stream started yet? I hope so now. Gordon Ramsay, hello James, hope you're good. What mid for 7 million or less would you bring in until game week 16 wildcard? Also very short term, 3 game weeks. I'd consider Rafinha. I know some people think they're selling him. But Rafinha's in that bracket. You could make a case for Lucas Moura if it's just the 3 game weeks, but honestly I'd rather get Rafinha. Harvey Barnes, I know, yeah, it's burnt me already, but and Maxwell Cornet even. Burnley 2 away games are a little off-putting when it's that short term though. So Rafinha, if you don't mind, honestly, if you don't have 3 Spurs and you're looking to just punt and you're happy for it to be a punt, it could be Lucas. But yeah, honestly, anyone think of buying Lucas Moura who has used that wild card, forget that shit. Tony McBride, morning James, just saying hello, have a brilliant game week, thanks mate, much appreciate that. Mark Lynch, any good sideways moves for Armstrong guys? What price? It's probably Josh King at around about that value, but fixtures are rough, but he's probably the best at kind of under 6ish at the moment. Douglas Stevens, Foden to Jota or Azpi to Alonso. I'd prefer Azpi to Alonso in the first instance. Lewis Coles, hi James, would you transfer in Alonso for free just to bench Gallagher and Buemo? You want to play both of them this week, mate. But if you've got a really shitty bench, I can understand buying Alonso, of course. Lucas says, hi James, bench 1 player, Gallagher, Tony, Rafinha, Saka. Gallagher from that. Matt Johnson, is it worth moving Foden onto Jota for free? Just covered this. Mark Lynch, Long is an interesting choice. Any reason in particular? I don't know what that's in referral to. He's saying King. Guys, if you're responding to people, if you can please at them, will help me jump the questions. It is appreciated though. James Clark, is it me? Is the stream not running yet? Hope so. Shall I double check that we're actually running? I mean, I've got a message now that says end stream as opposed to go live. But I'm paranoid now. I'm really paranoid that I'm talking to myself. I know that I'm not. Let's see. Yeah, look, there's me. There's me gums moving. Looking not very sexy as usual. Pavinar says, like Watford's fixtures after the next 3 and a good bench option for this busy period. Also really like King's fixture against Leicester. Yeah, I'll be looking at Watford for 16 when I'm wildcarding. Daniel Dunley. Hi, James. I've got 1 free transfer. Is Rudiger out to James a good move, or should I hold off 1 week and reassess? I have 2 free transfers. Keep up the great content. I think rolling sounds a good idea there, mate. I know the want to go to James, I completely understand it, but the power of having the 2 free transfers, it might be you can add James to Rudiger come midweek, depending on what's going on. Tifi Ferreira says, James, Bye Casinasa, Chilwell, Kijaga, Petsikiche, Lele Jajiri. I don't know. Shifo says, should we read more in Aspi replacing Chilwell when injured, or should I not overthink it and get Alonso? Stop the overthinking, mate. I can't promise you that Azpilicueta won't play left wing back. I'd be so surprised. Mark Sharkey says, morning Jimbo, keep up the great work. Appreciate that, Marky. Obiaju says, Vardy to Antonio for free. I mean, if you want to do that the other way around, great, but no. FTLOL podcast, hi James, if you got Suj in the office, Secret Santa, what would you buy him? Fuck all. Alan McNamara says, morning James, play. A note saying pay rise, please. Alan McNamara, and he'd probably send me back and say, send one back and say, start your fucking stream on time. Alan McNamara says, morning James, play Alonso on Buemo. Already have Tony and James playing. You're not leaving out Marcus Alonso at the moment, if you've got, right? Moshi says, what about Gundogan? What about him, mate? Mohammed says, good morning, how are you? European qualifiers for World Cup is tough. What's your thought on intercontinental qualifications, such as Argentina playing Portugal instead of Brazil? Thanks, good luck for Gameweek 13. I think our players travel enough, mate, without having March fixtures going from Europe to South America and stuff like that. We realise that the people born in these countries obviously have to do that. But imagine what they've got to play each other twice over 4 days, once in South America, once in Europe. Unfortunately, mate, our players are travelling enough and we need to stop this sort of thing. In theory, yeah, it makes it a little interesting. And we kind of do have that. One of the African playoff qualifiers is going to play, I think it's Ecuador as it would stand at the moment, but there's a long way to go in both African and South American qualifying. Mufasa says, hi James, love all your work, including all your Patreon pods. Cheers, Mufasa. Have a great weekend. That is all for now. Bless you, mate. Edwin Gran, I thought the weather has disrupted the stream. Thank God you are here. Good luck, James. Oh, Edwin, love you, mate. Static says, Antonio to Jimenez for 2 weeks. It's a -4. Moving to Wilson in 15. Wild card in 16. What do we expect Jimenez? 2 games. 1 blank, 1 goal. What we saying? 1 goal could be an 8. So 10 points. What we think from Antonio? Man City away, 2-pointer. Brighton at home. Attacking return 6. It's probably a no, isn't it? It's probably a no for a -4. For 3, yeah. For a -4, it's probably a no. Yo says, I have some serious bench dilemmas here. Bench 2. Diaz, no. King, Duffy and Buemo, Foden. You're benching Duffy and reluctantly, tough one. I wouldn't want to leave Josh King out this week. But still definitely play I think you play Diaz King. I think you got to play Foden. Just go with it, mate. So unfortunately, that's leaving Buemo out, a rare one. Stian says, weather looks fine for tomorrow, mate. Wind is 15 metres per second and rain. Have a good trip, my friend. 15 metres per second? I don't want to think about that. 2 pairs of socks is a definite. Avinash says, is Gray playing? Let me put on my Spanish waiter accent. No offence, Rafa. We don't know. Rafa picks the team. In seriousness, Damari Gray was in light training on Thursday, and he's got a chance. It's not a serious injury, so he's got a chance. However, do you still bloody want him? Andy P says, morning James, safe journey. Sky question for you. Got Chilwell, do I change for Alonso or James, or bring both in and use Ben Rama as a make weight? 30 subs left, sat at 1,800-ish. Good luck. No, there's an opportunity to move Ben Rama onto another one a little bit later on if that's what you want to do. I would prioritise Alonso personally. If you've got cold feet about it at all, get James, because obviously you know Reece James will definitely play. Shifo says, did Bernardo get COVID? Not that I've heard of, mate. Static says, Antonio really going to start. We're not leaving out a Chelsea defender, mate. How did Diallo, Rafinha and Buemo to start? If you're buying, it'd still be Rafinha for me. Castigator says, play Foden or Buemo. Already starting Tony. It's Foden, unfortunately. Baz Bestos, hi James in Sky. Would you move Pinnock in for Alonso, even though we'll be sacrificing Pinnock for this upcoming captaincy? No, mate. They've got 4 brilliant fixtures. Arguably, tomorrow is the day you should be buying Brentford players. No. Have a look at something else, mate, and look at moving Pinnock on after the Watford game. Carl says, would you bring Buemo in this week, or is Canos or another sub 5.9 million midfielder better? It funds Chilwell, it's James. Then I'm going to say yes, do it, mate. Berticus, just the one headache for me, James. Bench one of Rafinha and Buemo. Huang, keep on keeping on, mate. Thank you, mate. Bench Huang. Mubsy says, should I start Foden over Wilson? No. Is he likely to? Yeah, actually, yeah. You can't believe, if you've got Phil Foden, you've got to play him, man. Sod it. Is he likely to come on for only a few minutes? God knows what goes through Guardiola's mind, mate. Ian O'Neill, Alonso or James to replace Chilwell. Have TAA, Cancelo, Livramento and Lamptey. For me, to be honest with you, if it's a choice between buying the two, I think the rogue in me would be like, I want to get the differential before everyone else. But the smart play is still to buy Reece James first. Sinner says, start 1, Lamptey, Raf, Foden. Hamish Holmes, don't see Dyer or Davis in your benching dilemmas. Who shall start? Dyer's there, treat Davis the same. If you've got both, you can't have both. You cannot have Ben Davies and Eric Dyer. Wow. You can't. Slight preference for Davis. Fucking hell. But I wouldn't be that surprised if Davis gets left out tomorrow because of dealing with the direct aerial ball. But I say I wouldn't be that surprised. Actually, I would be surprised if Ben Davis is not in the Tottenham team. No Name says, what 2 out of 3 and Mbeumo, Rafinha and Tony do I start? The 2 Brentford players. General Zod, it's not that windy to be honest. He's up in the Merseyside area. I hope to see you tonight, my friend. Liam says, morning James. I know Pep's going to Pep, but do you think Laporte is third choice centre back at the moment? Thinking of moving him on for Alonso. I don't have a clue what's happening with Laporte and Stones. Not a clue. Don't know what he's thinking. Really don't know. But I'd be very tempted to move that on in any case and just take the pain away from it, mate. Ramu is sending me his whole team, which best respects to you, Ramo, but I really can't bother to read that all out, mate. It's terrible reading out a whole team. Haddy says Rafinha or Jesus. I mean, Jesus is godlike, isn't it? Sinner says start 1. I've had that once already, mate, and that's you removed from the chat because once is enough, mate. Still Express, wrap up well for Burnley. Hot pie and a pint or 2 very much needed. You don't say. Simi says start Edward or Antonio. Edward, I think you played today actually. Nicola Torco, salute James, how are you? Salute. Would you consider playing a Marty over either Ben Rama or Reece James? Oof, my God, no. They changed to a back 4 in a week. Much might depend on Johnny Evans' fitness because it may mean that Marty doesn't even start. West Ham says start Duffy or Antonio. That's still Antonio for me. Jackery says VC, James, Cancelo, Jimenez or Mount. It doesn't matter, mate. Prabash says Foden and Chilwell to Jota and Reguilon. Yeah, I can see that. You can see that. Mark Kitchu says, hi, whom do I bench? Foden or Rafinha? Don't own Jota though. I can't be benching Foden, mate. Machina says, hey James, is it worth starting Dennis against Leicester? Yeah, but who are you leaving out instead? Ragav says, Gallagher or Dyer to start. They're on the bench in dilemmas, my friend. Jefferson, Rudiger and Rafinha to Alonso and Jota from -4. Sounds unnecessary to me, mate. Castigator OP, Wilson, Foden and Mbeumo, which one to bench? And Mbeumo reluctantly. Mod says, should I play Rudiger versus Man United or Højbjerg versus Burnley this week? You win gold star question of the week, my friend. Chris Jargo, hi James, I am in Johannesburg and it's raining. Could it move over to Liverpool by 3 p.m? Smile. I think we'll be okay, mate. Jake G, start Ben White or Gray if he plays. Ben White. Fuck this Damari Gray nonsense, mate. Just sell Gray. Smash him out for a hit, mate. C Marshall, have the funds to either ship Foden or Rafinha for Jota. Which would you prefer? With money, no issue. I'd prefer selling Foden and take the headache away, mate. This is never going to go away. Stephen Martin Jones, Jesus in my team should take a -4. No, you're fine, mate. Yassine, Foden to Jota for -4. I'm saying no, but what are you determining it on? You're sick of Foden? You're desperate for Jota? How long are you judging it for? Miles says bench Tony and Mbeumo. Got to play Tony at the 2, mate. Haykel says Mbeumo out for Jota from -4. Not this week. Ricardo Jacobs, sell Vardy for Kane. Got funds? No, not this week. Dion Chung, hello Mr. James. How's the situation in Liverpool? I've covered this a few times. Rewind if you're not sure. Will 2 Nagayan says, do I do Diaz to Alonso for free or wait 1 week? What difference does waiting do? Generally. I'd probably, if you've got the luxury to do it, do it. But if you've only got 1 free transfer, I'm bothering my arse. What if we're all wrong and Azpilicueta is in that team? You're regretting that transfer. You can get a game of information. Mohammed says, Rudiger to Alonso or James or I roll. It's a roll. Static says, thanks for the stream, James. Travel safe. Cheers. Alex Allegretta says, good luck, James. Thank you. Perk Carnival 306, should I take a hit for Foden? So I'm sick of these Foden questions, honestly. Jeffrey, should I sub in Conor Gallagher for Ben Rama? I would play Gallagher over him, yeah. Abhishek says, what to do with Ronaldo and Antonio? One out, which one? Ronaldo to Harry Kane, mate. Honestly. And then back again in 16. Chris Davis, 88, start Armstrong or Duffy? I don't think either will start. But I'd go with the forward. Lee Thompson says, hi James, how do you feel when Dyer stands over a free kick? About the same as Harry Kane, like nothing's going to happen here. It's not like watching Bale stand over him in 2013, put it that way. Where is the tune, says Duffy or Townsend? Duffy, probably. I'm at the end of the questions. Bloody hell. Alright, smash them in, guys. I think I've got through them, probably because so many people decided to give up. Irvy says, start Gallagher or Tony. Tony, Jackery. Any merit in captain Trent over Salah? Trent resting midweek. Not for me, mate. Ross Watson, morning, James. Would you rather next season you win Sky Fantasy Football or Spurs win the Premier League? The love of Spurs or the cold, hard cash? Mate, are you mad? Are you mad? Are you mad, mate? I'll take Spurs win the league over anything in the world other than my son's happiness, mate. Anything. Anything. Unemployed forever, mate. Sleeping rough. Maybe one too far there, James. But all day long, Spurs winning the league, mate. I'll find somewhere to live. Gareth Payton says, I've got lots of love. One of you lot would offer me a place, wouldn't you? Gareth Payton says, hi, James. Great stream as always. And buying a striker as third choice sub next week. Do I go 4.4 or opt for a cheap playing striker like Broha or Dennis? Over this period for December, I'd prefer you to go for Dennis and take the headache, because benching rotations is going to bite this month, I'm sure. Andy P wants everyone to like the stream. Much appreciated, Andy. Thanks, mate. Josh Shah, no relation to Suj, I'm guessing, but you never know. Son and Antonio to Kane and Smith Rowe, Gallagher, Cornet, -4. It seems very sideways, that, mate. You've got Son. Sounds like you want to sell Antonio. You've taken a -4 to get Kane in over Son, and they could score very similar. Don't like that. Fraser Love, play Antonio or Tony. It's Tony this week. You're very welcome, Jackery. T-Tac, start Foden or Antonio. Foden. Robaldinho 7. Reason for Antonio being so high in bench dilemmas. A reason for him being so high, because he's one of the best forwards in the league, mate. Simple as that. He scored at the Etihad last season. And to be honest, he wasn't on there at all, actually. But I kind of, from my exchange stream yesterday, I got the impression that a lot of people were debating benching him. So I wanted to make my point in case that ordinarily, yeah, I'll still go with a forward. Personally, I would play Antonio over Gallagher today. If West Ham win at City 2-0 like Crystal Palace did, we don't think Antonio's going to be involved. Is that impossible? West Ham are a good side. Good side. You've got a good side and a good forward. And he scored in the fixture last season. So it's reasonable to play Antonio. This is a rare week where I would say, yeah, do you know what? There are a few I'd take him on with, like Mbeumo, Foden. Jaffet says, start Mount or Antonio. Jaffet, let me give you a little bit of advice, mate. Capital letters, I'm not a fan of that, mate. Stop that shit. They're both on the bench in dilemmas as well, just to add to your misery. Besma says, should I sell Huang for Jimenez? Huang for Jimenez. So short term, man. So short term. But yeah, fuck it, why not? To be honest, that's just me saying it because I got a hunch Huang will miss out today for Wolves. Jack Bones says, James, how do you feel about Raf to Alonso tomorrow in Sky? Got Gallagher for the single game day. I said to someone else earlier, I don't know if it might be worth waiting a little bit for the couple of fixtures Leeds got. I mean, you could make that move Tuesday to Wednesday. Then at least you know that Alonso's going to be in the Chelsea team from that point, for example. So probably not tomorrow. Just hold fire a little bit. Think of it as well. You've obviously got Gallagher for Tuesday. What happens if you get to Tuesday and Gallagher's not in the team? For whatever reason. It's extremely unlikely, but it's a set of midweek fixtures. I wouldn't make the move to at least Wednesday, mate. Jaffet, honestly, mate, bless you for... No. Connor Irvine, hi James, what are the 3 best under 5% owned players? Oh my giddy gosh. I'd have to look at the ownership of all the players, wouldn't I? Who's some players with next to no ownership? What's Callum Wilson at the moment? I feel like he's pretty low. Kane's still under 10, I think, isn't he? Or maybe he's up to 12 now, maybe. A Palace defender, maybe. Maxwell Cornet is definitely one. I feel like Mbeumo's still really lowly owned, although it feels like a lot of the Twitter community have him. And YouTube community. John Harris, sausage sandwich or batting sausage all day long, mate. Adrian Farouk, bench Antonio or Semedo. Keep up the great work. I'm playing Antonio, mate. Owen Boyd, do I bench Rafinha or one of Alonso and James? Unfortunately, it's a Rafinha. What no graphics? Have a good trip, fella. Thank you. Rich T. Who's going to score a freak win-related goal this week? James Ward-Prowse. Rene says, hello, James. Play Semedo or Antonio. Just covered that for someone else. Chris Davis, 88. Better long-term pick, Foden or Alonso. I'm not sure I could deal with a Phil Foden headache. It's personal for me. But Phil Foden. Sid Ali Osmeist. You don't have TAA. Lol. Haha. Yes, I don't, mate. I also think Liverpool concede today. Just putting it out there as per predictions. Takes me a -8 nearly every week to get him in, and I'm wildcarding shortly, and obviously you'll be in with that. Can I just say, when I do wildcard, I will probably go with Phil Foden in game week 16 because there's too good of a run for City, and I've got to punt something, and he's reasonable value. Jonathan said, has anyone told James there is an issue with the stream yet? No. Carl says, possible Wales versus Scotland for wildcard qualification. Who would you support if it happens? Couldn't care less, mate. Wish them both well. Matthew Jones, alright geezer, start Gallagher or Foden. Cheers, Foden. Phil McMahon, enjoy your weekend up here in the North. James, Manchester is great for nightlife. Unfortunately can't make it tonight though, but enjoy it, mate. Yansky says, hi James, being a Maverick now, Aubameyang in, Antonio out, Chilwell to deal with later, good luck. It's a Maverick move, and I tell you to listen to Clash of Correspondence, but it's only 5 minutes to the deadline, so that's no good for you. Adam Pritchard, our Arsenal correspondent, completely poo-pooed Aubameyang as a potential FPL option. Nah, couldn't justify paying that money when you got Smith Rowe. He started pissing down in London, by the way, just saying. But if you want to be a Maverick, fine. They've got a good run of fixtures up to 21, basically. FPL marking Kyoto. Hi, James. Hope you're well. Start Antonio Armstrong. That's an Antonio. FPL Clary. Enjoy your trip and beers, James. I'm benching White over Edward. Right decision. Thumbs up, sweetheart. Yo says, I'm the one with a tough bench dilemma. I have Hwang 2, so Hwang or Mbeumo to start 1. You can tell the people come to the stream late, can't you? And Mbeumo, good luck, mate. Perlo's pen. Hi, James. Good luck this week. Do you have any pets? I need a wife. Shifo says, what is the type of manager Ralph Rangnick will look to appoint to start next season? I think Ten Hag or Marco Rose or other German manager. Yeah, could be someone in that makeup. It could be that United have just already agreed to deal with Brendan Rodgers. Who knows? Gareth Payton says, sell Antonio or Tony next week. I want to move the cash backwards. Arguably still Antonio, maybe. Although I intend to sell Tony on Thursday ahead of Tuesday's deadline. Robertinho 7. You would really start Antonio over Rafinha? Yes, I would this week. I think Brighton have the number on Leeds. Ollie Sad says, sorry James, might have answered this already, it's just joined. Are you planning on bringing Alonso in on Sky? Yes, but I need to look at my plan. I haven't had time yet, my friend. Miles Holder, Hwang and Mbeumo, Benzema, Cornet on Mbeumo, Cornet. Ruwan's 1. Thoughts on Gelhardt? Great prospect, won't be playing regularly. Pranjal says, Cash or Antonio? As in Matty, Villa, right back, Antonio, mate. FPL Dream, start White or Antonio? That's the forward, mate. Mario P, I went for Region instead of Alonso. Love a little risk taking. Good luck. Chris Davis says, thanks for all your work, James. Good luck with the game week and enjoy drinks in Manchester tonight. Thank you. AMA4, Foden to Jota. I mean, yeah, if you want to. I've only covered this 100 times. Critso FPL, Lukaku or Antonio to start? Don't think Lukaku will start, mate. Rabbi says, Antonio versus White, whom to start? It's literally asked like immediately above, and I've just answered it for someone else, but thanks for your question. You got 2 minutes, guys. If you want to smash something in the chat very, very quickly, I'll cover it. As long as it doesn't mention the words Jota, Foden or Antonio. Otherwise, I'll just skip it. Harvey says, start Dyer or Raf? Raf, mate. I'm waiting for the flood. There might not be one. There might be one in Liverpool, though. Alan McNamara, Rafinha on Mbeumo. James is on the bench in dilemmas, mate. It's on Mbeumo. About a minute to deadline I've got, guys. No more queues. Everyone's like, oh, I wanted to ask about Jota, Foden or Antonio. Right, in that case, considering I said I'd end the stream at 11 o'clock. Cheers, Joe. Joe says Diogo, Phil, or Michael. Yeah, Diogo, mate. Ben Goss, bench one, and Buemo, Tony, Rafinha, Huang, Gareth Payton, Region Hall tomorrow. Doubt it. Where is the tune? Cheers, mate. Alexander Barker, proper sunny up here now. It won't be when I get there, I'm sure. Mohammed says, is Kilman on the bench a good enough reason to not take a hit to sell Chilwell? Yes. Alex says, when is the first double game week? That's up to FIFA and where they put the Club World Cup for Chelsea. But probably be one of the Champions League midweeks of the last 16 stage. Steve Ball says, where do you get your haircut? In my bathroom. Mufasa says, good luck and may your arrows be green. Lewis James, hi James, not been around much last couple of weeks as I've opened up my own restaurant. Good luck, mate. Power cuts up north. I managed to catch this stream. I hope it was well. Wish you well, Lewis. Stay in touch, mate. David Ida, hi James, thanks for the content. Shifo, why do you think Spurs are not going to win? Because it's fucking windy. FPL, and we're shit. FPL finding glory. I don't have a question, but once again, great content this week. I'm feeling the Kane hat-trick, which means nothing, by the way. Clyde says, cheers, James. Nick Edmonds, Gundo or Silva for City's good run. Gundogan. Ray says, hey, James. Hey, Ray. Mark Charles, are we selling Salah or benching him when he goes to AFCON? Yeah, I'm selling him, mate. Mark says, hi, James. Who do you think will win Euro Players for World Cup next year? Portugal and Ronaldo to miss out? Yeah, can't see them winning in Italy if that's what it comes to, mate. Can't see it. Be worth a watch, though, when it comes around. Right, we're done. Nicholas says they're captain Vardy. I wish you well. Got to end it there, guys, because I need to shoot. I'll spend a little bit of time with my little one. I got trained to manage during a couple of hours. There was a meet up tonight, transport permitting, at the Brotherhood in Manchester. I'm going to retweet the address now on Twitter. If you can come along, if you're in the area, great. But please, if you are travelling tonight, only do so if you need to and it's safe to do so. I am travelling because I need to. Because it's in my blood. It's what I do. Go Spurs. Content this week. 2 game week reviews coming for you Monday, Friday. There'll be deadline streams for you Tuesday and next Saturday morning. Tuesday, People's Poll podcast. Wednesday, Sky Fantasy. Thursday, Clash of Correspondents. Tottenham, Brentford, Ricky Saunders, Tom Med. We'll also be looking ahead to their game week 15 games against Leeds and Norwich, respectively. Again, if you want to support us on Patreon, all basic tier patrons get intermediate content this month, which includes all the podcasts. That's £3 a month. Intermediate tiers get the advanced tier video content added to all the podcasts. That's £8 a month. And our marvellous advanced tier patrons have got extra written content coming every day in December for you. It's a big giveaway on our Patreon this month. If you want to support us, not because you think you become a better FPL manager, because you probably won't, come and join our amazing Planet FPL community. Visit www.patreon.com/Planet FPL. Other than that, I must shoot. I wish you all green arrows this weekend and the very best of luck. Ciao for now.